So welcome back, Gunnuts. What we're going to be reviewing today is this value night vision scope. It is right down the lower end of the price range for what these things will go for. And they are becoming a little bit cheaper, but just thought I'd get a hold of one of these. This is brought into the country by the same people, Equipurself, who have sourced into the country this rangefinder that I've also reviewed, and I'll put the link up to that at the end of this video. I recommend you have a look at it. This thing's become a real go-to in both my hunting bag and my target bag, and yeah, it's a go-to. It's so handy just to have around for just glassing around when you're out hunting, checking through in the pines in the bush, and just without having to pull up your gun and carry that and have a look around. But you know, you've got the double functionality of being able to range whatever you're looking at. And that's just super handy to take that doubt out of your mind when you're looking over an area and picturing some game coming through and starting to figure out where you might be shooting to. If you're just setting up for a bit of a sit down for a while, it's always handy to have ranged out the spot and know what distances you're dealing with. So this has been a really good buy, good value, and it's been good quality, so I've been really happy. So I thought I'd check out and just have a look at one of their base level night vision units and see what sort of quality and functionality I'd get out of that. So I've grabbed one of these. We'll get out and have a look at it. Just first impressions. You've got 2 zoom, you've got basically 7 power settings for the infrared to power up and get extra distance. Effective range for viewing is up to 100 meters. So you won't be long ranging at night with it, but you'll be doing a lot of long ranging at night anyway. So first impressions before we head out and give it a bit of a test. Yeah, definitely lights up the night. Good to have just in under a really dark canopy or a really moonless night. You've just yeah, this picks out. It's just like looking through daytime. The camera, there is a camera functionality in it, there is video functionality in it. I don't think it's of any earth-shattering resolution, but it's there for recording any footage that you want when you're scouting around with it. So let's get out there, have a bit of a look at it, and yeah, see how it goes.
So
So Gunnuts, it's conclusion time. What do we think of the Equipurself Night Vision Unit? Well, out there we're having a play with it. Now, to be honest with you, when this first came through and I just pulled it out of the box and was having a bit of a play around the yard and around the local neighbourhood, just picking up some more distant objects, just be a little bit careful about wandering around your local neighbourhood with a night vision scope. Tends to make for some uncomfortable questions that it's kind of hard to come up with explanations for. Anyway, yeah, initially I was a little bit disappointed with the video quality coming through and with just what I was seeing through the eyepiece and the scope as well. Funnily enough, have a little fiddle with the focus and that all came right, and you get the kind of footage that you were seeing of back there, which is really good for pitch black conditions, quite acceptable. You could see that it was picking up a lot of detail in the forest scapes there, so you're picking up differences in you know, the bark texture and the leaves and stuff like that. So I was pretty impressed with the detail that it was picking out of there. And you know, just panning around with it, 100 metres is actually quite a long way at night, so you can actually get a good idea if you're in an elevated position. You can actually see quite a way and keep an eye over quite a big area, which was pretty cool. So in terms of applications for it, it does take up a hand. Okay, so that's something to consider if you're thinking about using it out in a hunting capacity, although obviously you don't want to be hunting out on any land at night. There's poaching considerations, there's identifying your target considerations, so certainly with high caliber weapons like possum hunting, rabbit hunting, certainly you're able to do that at night. In terms of the application, I think it'd be great for spotting game at night, getting some good night footage of them, keeping an eye over a certain area or game trail that you want to. Yeah, and could go quite nicely as a spotting scope to be used with a night vision, an actual dedicated on your rifle night vision scope, much like you'd use a rangefinder with a normal scope. So just to save picking up your rifle and lugging around and trying to have a look through a scope, which can not always be the best. In terms of ruggedness, it's not up there with the Equipurself rangefinder, which has actually been pretty robust and pretty usable. It's out in the kit with me all the time. This I would be a little bit more careful with, especially out in the bush. Yeah, it kind of feels like it wants to be sitting on its tripod and just looked after a bit, as opposed to rugged out there gear that you can smash around in your pack. So that's the impression I got from that. But yeah, in terms of usability, if you're looking at getting into some night vision, it could be that this is something that you can pick up to get an idea of, you know, the applications that you're going to be able to use it for. You certainly wouldn't want to be dropping a couple of grand on some high-end night vision and then figure out that's not what you need, or you know, it's not going to be of use to you. So this could be a good entry-level night vision, and it's, you know, you'd only have to think back a couple of years to be, you know, nobody would be thinking that you could get in and get your hands on your own night vision unit for a couple of $100. You'd be looking at, you know, a minimum of $1,000 up to anywhere up to a couple of thousand. So the technology's really become quite accessible to the average shooter, hunter, you know, night vision enthusiast. So yeah, quite a cool little unit, and has been quite a bit of fun to have a play with. I wouldn't say it'd be part of my everyday kit. Going out there, the field of view is a little bit narrow, and obviously you're giving up a hand to hold it. It's not something that you're going to be able to strap to your head and obviously get around with. So yeah, been quite a cool little bit of kit to play with. If you are interested in picking one of them up, they're available on Trade Me, or I'll pop down in the description, and also here you can just search on Facebook for the Equipurself page, and they have a shop on there that you can pick them up through. They seem to be sourcing some of their kit from internationally quite cheaply and just on selling it here, making it available in the New Zealand market. So keep an eye out for them. So that's it for me today on the night vision unit. If the review's been helpful to you, do give it a like, and do subscribe to the channel. We've got quite a library now of sort of affordable hunting gear, firearms and ammunition reviews for you to have a look at in there, and more coming out by the week. So we've got a couple of good reviews coming up, and a couple that have just dropped. The BZ58 review from Iraqi Ammunition, very cool little gun, quite a fun review to do, lots of stuff getting shot and blown up, so give that a look if you get a chance. I'll put it up as one of the videos in this at the end of this one.